Texas Organ Sharing Alliance is unveiling a new vision statement, an organ for every person on the waiting list. Currently, 10,000 Texans are in need of a life-saving organ transplant. From the opening last year of the Center for Life, a specialized center dedicated to the gift of donation, to enhancing best practices and innovative donor management, TOSA has remained committed to its mission of saving lives through the power of organ donation. Despite the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, TOSA rose to the occasion, ultimately saving 524 lives through the generous gifts of 189 organ donors. Here to share more on TOSA's plans to continue tackling the critical need for organs for every person on the waiting list is TOSA's VP and Chief Performance Officer Jessica Rudd and Clinical Supervisor and Clinical Practice Specialist Micah Williams. Jessica, Micah, thank you for joining us. An organ for every person on the waiting list. Can you explain what led to the creation of this vision statement and how TOSA plans to expand its reach to save more lives?
The vision statement for TOSA specifically was one that we worked on probably for a couple of years. And what it ultimately came down to was, gosh, can you imagine a day when not one single person was waiting on the wait list? And that is our vision. And that's really driven us to improve in what we're doing now. One of the ways that we collaborate with other OPOs is kind of consulting with each other. So for instance, we have Gift of Life Philadelphia coming to San Antonio, and we're thankful for their insight and their wisdom. And we look forward to further growing from based off of what they come up with.
Within the clinical department, we have expanded the number of referrals that we take from our hospitals and also the type of referrals that we take. As you may know, TOSA's donor service area covers over 120 hospitals. In 8 of our donor ICUs, currently we are trialing a new referral criteria that allows hospitals to refer patients to us faster and at an earlier date and an earlier status so that we can evaluate these patients for the potential for organ donation and evaluate our ability to offer donation to these families earlier.
And the Center of Life has played an imperative role to TOSA's success in 2020. What are some changes in the near future that will raise the bar in the donation process?
One of the main focuses that TOSA has right now is to really streamline our processes. And an example of that is really centralizing all of our transportation services that are needed. So what we have done is we've joined forces with NORA, which is an international transportation service, and they will be doing all of our couriering, staff transfers, surgeon transfers, what have you, but all of it will be centralized, and it's a one call center system. So we're really excited about that. Another thing that's really important for us is to continue developing our hospitals. So the area hospitals outside of the CFL transfer to the Center for Life. And what we know is that when we're able to transfer a donor to the Center for Life, we're able to maximize that gift from that donor.
Well, one of the things that we're doing as a clinical department is we're using some pretty new and innovative advanced clinical practices for increasing our organ yield. So we are doing things like serial bronchoscopy. We are proning donors aggressively. We're using medical therapies such as Metaneb and other lung strategies to improve the number and the quality of organs that our organ donors can donate, and therefore specifically on evidence-based donor management at all levels.
TOSA is working really closely with our vendor Transplant Connect to create an automated referral system. So currently the nurses or whoever in the hospital makes a phone call to TOSA and they let us know of a potential donor. And what we hope is that when a nurse is documenting into the patient chart, that is automatically dropped into TOSA's system. So that referral is made instant, and we're able to respond more quickly and more efficiently.
We're going to hire 5 full-time triage coordinators. We're also searching for a triage center director, and those staff will be specifically dedicated to intake of the referrals, customer service for the hospitals that are referring those donors to us, and then accurate and timely evaluation of every single referral that comes in from our DSA. We've also instituted a new position, which is my position, the clinical practice specialist role. And my job is to oversee the donor management and to maximize the number and the quality of organs that our organ donors can donate, and actively monitoring, if our theory, which is that more focused care of the donors will lead to higher organ yields, actually plays out. And so far it's working very well.
And what other improvements is TOSA participating in to maximize on every life-saving gift provided by Central and South Texas donors?
A lot of stuff happens between 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and rarely do night shift workers, who are just as essential to the care of our donors and the ICU patients and the ER patients, rarely do they get the same level of education and attention. So one of the things that TOSA's hospital development department has decided to do is to hire multiple full-time in-house night shift coordinators whose job it will be to heighten our visibility in hospitals during the night shift, rounding in the hospitals, checking on our patients and our potential patients in the hospitals. Currently, we have one new coordinator in each region whose week will be strategically planned to be able to visit the most amount of hospitals with the highest donor activities in their regions. Our night team will target hospitals across our service areas 3 nights per week, and also rotate onto the weekends to make sure we're capturing and able to educate all staff. We're currently actively participating in multiple research studies. We are doing a multi-OPO national randomized controlled trial for the study of levothyroxine, which is a drug that is theoretically able to help the heart be more transplantable. Another study that we're participating in is, again, a multi-OPO national study on donor management goals. And the study's theory is that if we can reach these goals efficiently and consistently through all of our donors, then that will improve our organ yield, so that we can make sure our medical management of our donors is up to national standards.
Well, thankfully, we have a really strong team. And one of the things that they've been able to do is really reach out to the masses, especially during COVID. And what we learned from COVID is that, gosh, the number of people we can reach virtually through social media, through webs in services, what have you, it has shown a great improvement. So that's something we don't want to lose, but we also are ready, and we have already started getting back out in the community. Really, the other key part of this is improved collaboration with our transplant centers. And really, it's not just the transplant centers around TOSA service area, but nationwide. It allows for more timely allocation, more timely acceptance of organs. And again, ultimately, more organs are transplanted and more lives are saved.
Thank you, Jessica and Micah, for sharing more on TOSA's vision to meet the critical need of organ donors. Remember, you too can take part in our vision. Sign up to donate live as an organ, eye, and tissue donor at TOSA1.org. And we will see you next time on TOSA Talks.